Hey guys, so I got a very good response on the Brothers Scan and Cut video that I had done when I just showed just quickly. I got it out of the box and went to work, and I really love what it's done so far. And I just want to prove to you that I haven't opened any, not even, this is the rhinestone kit, didn't even open it. Then there are two little, I think this is like a quick instruction sheet, not even opened. Same with this one. A quick reference guide, and I didn't even open this one here that has, I guess, the main manual and some type of disc. So I'm not even sure what that does, and it may even give you more options, but for now I'm happy with what it's doing. So I'm going to show you live right now that I just plugged it in, and then we're going to do a bunch of examples after that, so maybe you can see it in person. I'm not going to speed anything up, and unfortunately you're going to hear the noise in the machine, but this way it'll give you like a real feel of you know, a real user using it, and you see it in action versus just the after, you know. So we'll go from here. I just stamped some of my new Mama Elephant stamps, and this is from this set here. This is lunar animals. So I just did a few farm animals, and I kind of went crazy, and I'm just going to lift up this here. I kind of went crazy and stamped a bunch because I wanted to see if it was going to confuse the machine with too much scanning. But I went in and I scanned it, and I'm going to see if I can show you. You're not going to see too well because I have you on my tripod. So it's going to be hard to see the screen, but I'm going to kind of walk you through what I'm doing. But I basically scanned it, and it showed all the images. And this is zoomed in at 200%. Let's see. Here's a little bit bigger. So let's go over and down to kind of see, it kind of shows you where it's going to cut on the edge, and you can see if you don't like one of the cuts, like right here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little smudge on my actual ink. See, here's my actual paper, and it's even registering that, so it's going to probably cut that out. I could crop my mat and see if I could get it to not do that, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's such a little area, and it looked like everything else scanned so well, which actually kind of shocked me. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one, and then I'm going to show you from start to end a few other sessions. So I'm going to exit out of that screen, and we're going to hit OK. And let's see. We want it to cut, but I want it to go back. Let's see, back. Oh, here, this middle one. This middle one is what we want to hit. And here's where I put in, I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in for this part, if you can see. Let's see. It's going to be really hard because of the light, but okay. Right here on the screen, it looks like on the camera, it's not really showing too much, but here's our scanned image. It's very small. Let me actually bring you in close so you can see, or try anyway. Okay. Here's our scanned image, is what it's going to cut. So I no longer have it zoomed. And then when you hit that middle button that I showed you, that's going to do like whether you want it to have a little white border around the edge. I do. I just want the smallest one. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. It's going to bring to 0.04. That's what I like. You could cut it at 0.00, and that's going to do an exact outline. Then you could just go over with the black marker, but for these I think I want just a little outline, and then the next ones maybe we'll show you the others. But that's how you do that. You just hit OK. So again, it was the center one. When you hit the center one, it'll show your outline distance. When you're happy with it, you hit OK. So this is how easy it is. Let's see. These ones are if you want to cut a shape around it. So if you had, say, one image, you could cut out these shapes. So it is what that one looks like, a puddle. There's a circle, and these are free shapes that are inside of it. So instead of cutting the, you know, shaped outline of it, you could cut, you know, one of these starbursts, hexagons. I like this one. You know, you could cut one of those around it. So that's a neat option too. So that's what that button is. And let's see what this one is. Ignore object size. I don't know if this has something to do with trying to help it scanning or give a dark line. I haven't used that one yet, so once we cross that bridge, we'll go there. But just, this is the main one you're going to want to mess with. This one that looks like two circles on the inside. And that's where you got to do this before you go to this next step so that you can see, so you can choose how you want to cut. Because I think if not, it'll do a direct cut and it'll go right against the line. Which is a nice look too, but that's just not one I want right now. So we're going to hit OK. And we are going to go, and you could either hit draw or cut, because it gives you, well, my machine came with another, and here's the blade carriage and what that looks like. It gives you another one, and then it gives you some pens, which is, you know, my Cricut didn't come with that. But still love my Cricut, but that's just something this one comes with. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cut, and I'm going to set you back up on this tripod because it'll get a little back, and it's going to get noisy. It's not super noisy. I feel like this one's a little louder than my Cricut, but, you know, in their infomercial, they say it's not very loud. I disagree. I think it's a little loud. My Silhouette was weird. My Silhouette, my Cameo, that was kind of like, it sounded like a pinball machine when I first got it, like the noises, which that didn't bother me, but then it sounded a lot of like grinding noises. And I know I've heard other ones, they all sound like that. It's not just, there wasn't anything wrong with my machine. It just, the sound it made was a little bit more obnoxious than my Cricut. So that's just something to keep in mind. So we're going to hit cut, and it's going to get noisy, and it's going to probably take a little bit because it's got all these images to cut out. There's quite a few on there. So just to show you how it works, whoops, I was supposed to hit start. Press the cut key or the draw key. And now we hit start. See, on the Cricut you hit cut, so that's why I did that. But again, these are all things you can figure out on your own. I didn't even open the manual. So it's really cool to me that I got it plugged in. I didn't have to enter any of my web key for my internet. For this part, you don't need an internet key. Now, I think you can even use this as you would with your Cricut, and you can, you know, upload images from the computer. That's when you would probably need it from there, and you would need your cord, or if you're going to get, there's a wireless card you can purchase if you want to do it. Because as you see, there's a little thing right there that says wireless ready. But I haven't even gotten there, and again, I don't want to get rid of my Cricut. I really like my Cricut, although this cut's really nice too. I was worried about, so my Cricut Explore Air has been the best by far machine in way of cutting. Like, it cuts such delicate, it's just smoother. You can tell they really improved on its cutting capabilities, and that's what I really, really like about that. Versus I've had the Cricut Expression, I had Cricut Imagine, I had the original baby Cricut. That's what I started with. I didn't like the anniversary edition, the E2, even though, you know, they're trying, they're improving their screen. But I really do like the Cricut Explore Air. But there is a learning curve, and I've heard a lot of you say that. That one is not quite like this one, if this is what you're trying to cut out your stamps. It's not that self-explanatory, and I had to figure a lot of things out, and I'm not that great on computers, but I can do it. You know, I can figure it out, but it's just frustrating, and then if you don't use it for a little while and you go back, you might not be able to remember. So I'm surprised, but that's finished cutting all those little pieces. So I'm just going to hit OK, and I am going to, right up here is where you unload the mats. So I hit that button. So I'm just going to show you an up close. That's what it looks like on there. I don't know if you can see the little cut lines, but I am going to pull them out and show you what we got. So we have some success. So here is a little horsey. So it cut all them out. I didn't think it would, and look how intricate. I'm going to show you. You know what? They give you a little spatula in this toolkit, so let's use that. So they give you this little toolkit. I think they all come with these no matter what bundle you get. And then here's what I was talking about, the other, the pen holder, and then they give you two pens. I think it was a black and a red. Then this is where the blade thing was in there, and that was easy to install. And then this is their little spatula. It looks weird. What's the matter? No. It's a commercial. You'll be okay. So, so here is what that looks like, and I'm just going to use my spatula. Tell you, you're okay. What's the matter? No. What? No. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so here is how tiny this little piece is. So you can use these, you can use these as an accent on your page, or on your stamps or on your card. And I also wanted to share with you, and we're going to do some others, that it will cut out colored images. Now this one's not colored that deeply, but I purposely put these marks on the end to see if that would throw it off and only cut like that out, but it cuts around if you color it too. So in the future I want to do some more colorful ones and see if that'll cut it out, but I've heard other people say, you know, you can color them out before, because I was nervous. I'm like, if I do all that work, what if it, if I do all that work, and what if it cuts out my image, you know, it doesn't cut out my image right. But look, I just pulled the outside, and that's how nice it cut. And it got all my little pieces there. So I am going to, while we're chatting, I am going to, no, Mommy. It's okay. I'm just going to move all these little pieces off so we can start the next cut. because I did some other, thank you honey. Here she comes. So I did some other stamping, so I can show you on that. But wasn't that cool? So we'll see what the other ones do. And sorry if my arm is like right in your way. And the spatula really helps to get these things off. Now this mat, I don't love the mat. It's not as bad as the Cameo mat, the Silhouette mat, if you've used them. That one was, I'm sorry, but that one was crap to me. This one's not too far from crap, but it's better. This one has at least a little more plasticky, like the one that I got from, and I like that machine. I'm not, you know, bashing it in any way, shape, or form, but just the mat for the Silhouette Cameo, to me, is like a piece of thin acetate. It's terrible. So this one is not too far from it, but it's better. It's thicker. I don't know if you can tell, but it's not like the Cricut mat. Like the Cricut mat, you couldn't really go like this, and it would make that noise. And then also the adhesive on here, I've only used this a handful of times, and it's not very sticky, and it started off not very sticky. And I've heard a lot of people say that. So I feel like in the future I'm either going to have to use my, like this kind of Post-it tape, just to put, you know, my ends on the, but so far it's so good. So nothing happened bad, but I just can tell. I've just used enough of these machines to know. And unfortunately you can't use the Cricut mat, as I've said in another video. It's just not the same size. And this one is the standard mat. I know they have a scanning mat that's solely just for, no, that's solely just for scanning. You can't do that. That's solely just for scanning, and then they have a light, you know, I don't know what's that called, light adhesive or a heavy adhesive. So I don't know if any of those would be any better, but let's go ahead and try another one. So here's the next one we're going to do. I'm going to show you here because I know you might not be able to see it on here. I'm sorry if my daughter's movie music. And just for kicks, I'm going to put it in, I don't know if you can see that, the bottom right of the mat, because I keep trying to, so to preserve my mat, instead of always putting top left, I'm going to put it over and just move it, and you could even move it to the center. It doesn't have to be up here, but I'm just going to move it around just to get the most life out of my mat, instead of all in the same spot, and then that spot won't stick anymore. I mean, it's going to eventually do that. So now that we're in our old screen, I am going to, and I apologize, you're probably not going to see this perfectly, or if at all. So we're going to go back to home, and it'll ask me, okay, to delete all patterns. We're going to hit okay, because we're done with that one. So this is really literally how it is. So when it's plugged in, so actually I'm going to power it off. So here's my machine. I just plugged it in, and we're going to hit power. So literally plugged it in, no instructions, no downloads, no updating, none of that. So I plugged it in, and now it's saying scan and cut, and it gives you like a little commercial thing. I don't know what it is, but you can skip and go right to home, and it says the carriage and mat will move to the initial position, keep your hands away, etc. from the carriage. So it's going to warn you this every time. It's a safety feature, so you just hit okay. But I guess it's good if you have little children like I do around, make sure their hands aren't near it. Just a quick reminder. So here again is our little bunnies on the mat. It's my new mama elephant. That's the Pix's favorite. So I was excited to kind of show you guys this tutorial and use my stamps at the same time. So what you want to do first is load the mat. And again, you load the mat here in this little button here. It looks like a grid. It looks like a mat, and it shows 2 arrows going up and down. So again, I like the basicness of this. So, okay, so our mat is now loaded. Let me see if I can zoom you out a little. So on this thing, and you probably can't see, this one says pattern, this one says scan. This is the main screen once you hit home. So we're going to go ahead and hit scan. And we want to do direct cut. I believe scan to cut would be if you're cutting the center out of the like other pieces inside, but we're doing a direct cut. I don't know if that's something different. And this one says scan to USB. So you could scan it and save it for later, like even if you just want to save it like just for storage purposes, or if you want to scan artwork or something like that. But for now, we're just doing a direct cut. So I hit direct cut, and it just tells you cut, scan various images directly based on their patterns, put materials to scan on the mat, and set it to the machine. So it kind of walks you through as you go. So we're okay with that, so we know. So we're going to hit start. So and so there's not a whole lot of buttons here, which is not a whole lot of learning curve, which I like. So you always, as all machines, you want to make sure that you have plenty of clearage room in the back so that your 12 by 12 mat can easily flow through. So there, it's done scanning. It's saying it's recognizing. It usually takes a second or two. And what are you doing? Can't open that. So it'll take a second. Stop it! You're cranky pants. Banana. Here you go. Sorry, you always hear the behind the scenes things in my videos. You're welcome, honey. Bratty pants. Okay, so now I'm going to bring you up again. So let's see if we can see. Here, it's going to be hard to see, and it's hard to see for, not necessarily for me, but just because it's a scan screen. So there we go. So then you just want to hit OK, because this screen doesn't necessarily matter. Here's where it matters. So let's zoom in. So this one didn't do very good. So look. So it looks like it cut out. See, it picked up some of the inner glasses of, let me see if I can show you. It picked up the inner glasses, because what you see in dark is what's going to cut. So let's go back. Let's exit out of here. So look, it's depending on how close your images are to each other, and then you can like kind of fix this in the future. You can, where's my little stylus? Did that little thing take it? Okay, hold on, let me get my stylus. Alright, let's see if I can do it with my finger, because I think Miss Talia grabbed my stylus. So let's see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see at all anyway, but okay, there's the screen. I don't like the way, so let me, you know what I think we should do? Some trial and error. So let's take this out, unload. Let's see if maybe because it's over here, I've seen some people just move it in the mat and then put it. So now we're going to try it more in the middle. So see, it's not quite on all the way to the left, it's in the middle. Let's try that and see if we get any luck. So let's do load mat. We're going to do all the same things. We're going to go back. We're going to go to home. Okay, scan. Okay. I don't think we'll get any different results, but you never know. So let's see. Okay. Now it's doing the recognizing, and then it should come up. Now let's take a look at this. So hit OK. And let's zoom in. Now look, this one went, yeah, it looks pretty perfect. This one went perfect, and I'm going to zoom in again. I don't know if you guys can see it. You know what? Let me take you off this tripod. Sorry for the spinning. Okay. All right, now look. Here is, I got 400%. It looks like it got just the outside of all these images. So we're going to hit exit out of that, and we're going to try it, and we're going to hit, so we want outline distance. This one I want, yeah, the same thing. This tends to be my favorite, the 0.4. So then we're going to hit OK, and then we're going to hit OK, and then we're going to hit cut and start. And there's the start button. So now it's going to start cutting. I might get a little wobbly here, but I just want to kind of show you. So that's the noise I meant when I said like grinding. It's not, you know, breaking or anything. It's just a noise that I don't really like. So you're not supposed, I mean, that's a safety thing, but I just go in here, and sometimes when I see the corner lifting up, I just press it down, and of course you have to be careful and never stick your hand right near there. But it's going around each of the images. And so sometimes, you know, I'm not going to do just one image at a time, but if you do too many, and like I scanned, while we're waiting, I'll show you. I scanned these ones before, and it's a whole page of these, because I was doing Christmas cards with these, and I needed a lot of them. But when I scanned it, it picked up certain sections, so then I just pulled the arrows down and only had to cut out some, and then I could reuse this later and probably scan it, and it will let me do it. So you never know, and sometimes just moving around on the mat, and sometimes the issue may be, and we're finished cutting already, so then we're going to hit unload. And sometimes the issue may be simply your stamp didn't stamp, you know, evenly enough, or if it didn't have bold enough lines. So look how nicely that this cut, and two of these, I was trying to pull them out, but these are cut out nicely too, but I can't get it with one hand. But let's see if we can get it with my spatula. This video is getting longer than I had planned, so it's just really hard with the tripod because then you can't see where you're going. But look how nice it cut these out. And there were so many on the thing. And then here's a little tree stump. Let me pop this out. Here's the little tree stump you can color up. And then have this little girl sitting on it. So let's try to get that with the spatula. Tell you, what are you doing? So once you have these colored up or you're ready to put them on a card, you can use some little pop dots and have her sitting on the little stump. And then there's one with the heart. So look how nicely you cut it out. And this one you just have to pop through. Can't do it with one hand, but maybe I can. There we go. There's the other one. So it cuts out beautifully. It cuts out so even around the edge. You'd really have a hard time doing that yourself, even though the Mama Elephant, I like them because they're a little bit more basic images. Like, you know, sometimes with the girls and their hair, their flowy hair, like there's so many like ins and outs if you were fussy cutting it. But again, I love this machine. Just kind of want to show you the ease of use for this and just some issues you might come along and some little ways to fix it. So hopefully you could see enough to stop, Talia. No. She just grabbed my whole pile of cutout images. So it's tough when you have little ones. It's tough, you know, to figure. But this machine is really, really easy. It shows you the scan on there, and if you don't like it, you can always, you know, retry it or redo it before you cut it, and that's what I love. But again, this was out of the package, no instructions, no extensive, you know, prior computer use that you know, computer practice. I'm not that good at computers either. So, and I was able just to get right into it and cut these things out. So just want to show this to kind of encourage my crafty friends out there. A lot of you have messaged me and said, I have this machine, but sadly I haven't brought it out of the box. I'm reading all your comments. I'm enjoying reading them. Just want to kind of show you some things. And once if I ever load images from the computer on here, I'll show you that too if you want. But I just wanted to show how easy it is to do these stamped images and how excited I am that, you know, it can do. Because now I don't have to buy all these dies. And here's one that I just cut, so I'll probably put these, whoops. Alright, let's just show you here. I'll probably put these dies up for sale because I just bought this before I got the machine. But now I don't need these because I can cut them out with my machine. So it'll be a little less storage for me. So thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you have any comments. Bye.